marketing what we are doing.
Okay, so what I use this like 1,000%. Like everybody gets this right here. So I use this like as a part of the pre-listing side of it. But the packet that I go has old flyers. So I don't know what you do with your old flyers, right? Or any extra. I keep them and then I take them with me to show them in paper what I have.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, but
I'll also start keeping them.
yeah, I think what I can do is I can have maybe Tin, because Tin's the one that sets up a lot of the marketing for our listings once we launch them live. I can maybe have her start compiling a folder. Some sort of folder that we could just click on, and it'll have like a folder for each property, and it'll have like, she can upload the flyer there. She can upload. She's already doing that.
Whenever, exactly. She's anyway.
Well,
exactly.
Well, Shri, that's in my listing packet. So when I go out there, I have a listing that let's say I already have a listing, right? And then I walk them through it. Say, hey, listen, Mr. Customer, this is what's going to be at the house. This is when people come in. This is what we give them. There's also the door knocking flyers that we pass out, the little half flyer ones. So I kind of show them the value of what we do on our end, like on a physical thing.
Yeah.
But maybe having a digital version may be great. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Digital version. And then there could be like a link that I could create, like listings at Real Estate PRG, and then it pulls up that folder, and then you can see like listings or whatever.
Since she brought this up, I think when I've been selling them, when I sell the listings, I say, hey, listen, every one of our when we put a house on the market, there's a custom website that you have, but I can never find the custom website because there's no longer the address anymore. So it's this crazy ass fucking link. You know what I mean?
Because of what it is, it's the Zillow show. If it's Zillow Showcase, there's no like address like 123 Main Street.
Okay, so how do I show that to them? Like, hey, every house that we end up listing has this. Because I used to be able to do 123mainstreet.com, remember?
Yeah.
And it would show it to them, but I don't see that anymore.
So let's see. If you go to our Zillow page, you can pull up our active listings. Like right now, there's only 2 of them.
That's cool.
That are active. And if any of these are on Showcase or whatever, you'll be able to show them. So I don't know if these are still Showcase though.
No, Midtown is not Showcase. Yeah, Midtown is not Showcase.
But you can at least click on this and you can show them how our staging looks, how our photos look and all that, right? How the virtual tour looks.
Is that on the selling page?
No, this is just on our Zillow profile.
Maybe when you customize it, maybe make it easier where you can just go click a link.
Yeah. I think what I'll do, you know what I could do is, this is actually a good idea, is I'll create a page on our website and it just has all the links in one page and you just click on them and it opens.
Yes, it opens up everything. Yes. That's a good idea, actually.
Samples of our flyers, samples of this, samples of that. Or I could even customize this page and put some links on here. So like you can open the Google Drive from here.
Yes.
Right? Like when you click on these, it takes you to that folder.
Google Drive. Yes.
This page is dope. It's very, very valuable.
Yeah.
I love that page.
But it does need to be updated because I created this page years ago.
Yeah.
And so even these properties, like these are old properties, there's a lot more that we can probably feature.
Yeah, this year there was a lot of good listings like
exactly. These were a lot of nice things that we did.
Yeah.
With photos of staging and all that. But I can definitely add some more stuff here. All right, let me make a note before I forget. So,
because and what you said was also correct. Anyways, Tin is already making these. She just needs to put a copy every time whenever we close the listing. That's all she has to do.
Yeah, exactly. Update listing collateral. Page. All right. Okay, good idea, bro. That's a really good idea. Sorry, stop sharing. Okay, so today, I mean, it's just you and Rob on here. It's all good, but I'm recording this, so I think it'd be valuable for whoever watches it. I want to talk about just negotiations because we've run into different scenarios even recently where we're negotiating with on the buy side and the sell side. And so I kind of created a little format, but I think it's good for us to even all just chat because I did a couple listings recently and I used some stuff. Like, I really feel like I freaking made these listings happen. Like, I pulled numbers out of my ass basically, but there was some stuff that I did which I think really helped, And so I want to talk about some of that just from the listing perspective. And then I know we've all had situations with buyers where we've had to get the buyers to come up or respond to a counter offer and stuff like that. So I want to talk about those as well. Unblue this back. Okay. So the guide that I have here, I'm going to share it. And this will just be to help create some talking points. Okay. So negotiation tactics for buyers and sellers. The goal is to get buyers to come up in price after counter offers or multiple offers situations. Influence buyer agents and their clients when you're representing the seller. So if you're on the seller side, how do you influence the buyer agent, right? How to use confidence, anchoring, and positioning to maximize your results, and then how to just feel more prepared, persuasive, and in control during some of these tough conversations. So I have like a few scenarios that I want to talk about, and then we can just kind of mastermind and give some tips and ideas. But the first one right here is like buyer getting their cold feet after a counter offer, right? So we've all been in situations where you're representing the buyer, the seller counter offers at a number that's above the buyer's comfort zone. And then so now you get the buyer starting to like hesitate or maybe even wanting to walk away from the deal. So what do we do in those situations? I'll kind of go over some of the talking points and then let's just discuss it openly, right, on this scenario. So what we're suggesting here as like a main goal is to always shift the focus from the price you're paying to like what it's going to cost you on a monthly basis, right? And I think that's like a really good way to get buyers going from like the sticker shock of just seeing like a counter of 50 grand, 15 grand, 10 grand, whatever that might be, to like, okay, this is how much it equals in your monthly payment, right? So like, for example, like a $15,000 increase might be only $80 more per month, right? Is this worth losing the home over, right? This is a question you have to ask your buyer.
Yeah.
Using anchoring, right? Anchoring is reminding them of why this was their top choice home in the first place, right? So we also got to pull at those strings of like, hey, remember we looked at all these houses and like you guys said this one checked off the box, all the boxes. We know we haven't really seen many like this. So is it worth it to pay $80 more per month and now you get the property, right?
Yeah.
Saying things like that. Painting the risk of walking away also is important, right? So like, hey, thinking a step ahead. Hey, Mr. Buyer, totally understand this is above your price point, but what's your plan if we lose this one? Like, are we going to go back and just keep looking at more? Market's changing, right? Or do we really want to focus on this property here? Or do we want to sit out and start all over, right? We've already looked at 15 homes, right? Do we want to go back to that process? Or does this one check off all the boxes? Is it worth coming up on, right? And so getting recommitment to why they wanted this place why they wanted the house in the first place is key when you're trying to get the buyer to come up during these counter offers, right? Now, Shri, I remember you called me about a scenario, right, where the buyer got a counter. So let's maybe talk about that one, right? Because that's a real scenario that we just went through recently. Let's talk about that one, right?
But we just like it's a 1.55 listed. I wrote for 1.45 and like my client said like he's maxed out there and it's a very good. I know that they're looking for a very good school district, so I kind of knew they have a little bit room to come up. So my listing agent said like, hey, that's too low. What you offered? I said like, hey, you're sitting in the like. I started negotiation, whatever it is. I said, show it to your clients. Come back with their counter. Let's see what can I do, right? So let's start the ball rolling. Let's not talk about the initial, only the offer. Just take it to your clients and counter me whatever it is. I'll take it to my clients. So we got a counter for like 1.5. First of all, 50 grand down from 1.55 to 50 grand down 1.5.
So hold on, let me just understand. So you submitted what price was the initial price?
1.45.
145 is your initial offer. And where was it listed at?
1.55.
Okay, so you came in 100 grand less than the asking price, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And then they countered you back at 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happened next after that call? What's up, Patrick? So what happened after that? Now you get the counter for
So
1.5. How'd you handle
yeah,
that?
yeah. So initially my clients were saying let's try for 1.475. Then, I asked them like what's the max you want to stretch to? They said 1.475, that's max. Then I told them you can't start with 1.475. Let's roll it out for 1.45. That's why we sent out 1.45. Now, when they countered back with 1.5, I reached out to you and is like, what's the best scenario in this case? You mentioned, it won't be your last counter. Try to, negotiate and try to, make you understand your buyers that to come up a little bit and find a middle ground is what you told me, right? And then I told them like, how about we go back and with 1.48? Like I know you guys are comfortable till 1.475, but let's give 5 grand more and just close this.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's where I went with and I again, like you said, the anchoring point is for them is the main school district. Hey, first of all, we are, at the because of the market slowdown, we are already getting, almost if we get it for 1.48, we are getting like 70 grand less than the asking price.
Mhm.
And if you look at the comps, you're going in with an equity, right? So I started the discussion with that anchorage points like school district, you love the house, and we are already going in with an equity. And if we lose this again, like we have to start over. We already saw like 8 homes, I think, past 2 weekends.
Yeah.
And that's what I told them. And I didn't explain them like exactly $80 per month, but I told them like it won't make much difference, monthly payment also. And right now the rates are little good for you. So I think it's a good deal. Let's go ahead and counter them. They said like let's stick to 1.475. If we are losing that time, we'll at least keep 10 grand, like 5 or 10 grand more. So don't give up all the cards. And they said like let's go with 1.475, like our buyer counter.
Got it.
And we we went with 1.475, and listing agent started countering my commission then. Okay, we'll only pay 1.75%. I was like, I, I called her like, first of all, you didn't have offers, and I'm getting you an offer after 2 months, and now you're coming on my commission seriously.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'm sorry, Shri, I never do this, but that's what sellers want to do. I was
Yeah.
like, no, you're not gonna. And I told you, right? They are like trying to. Then you said, no, just be strong and negotiate on that only. Then I went back strong on her, saying that that's it, 1.475. Now I don't want to come up a little bit also, and I want 2.5. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Then she said, like, give me some time. I'm trying to convince them. And I think after 24 hours, they took it.
There we go, bro. All right. Solid, solid, solid.
Yeah.
Good
So,
job, man.
yeah, thank you so much. But you told me that take your stand, right? Like, even I was like thinking for some time, like, okay, let's make it 2 or close the deal, or like, then I was thinking, no, they don't have any offers. I think let's stand on this.
Yeah, because you were considering just taking the 1.75 or maybe 2 and still losing 0.5% commission, right? On your
Yes,
commission.
yes,
All right. But remember, like, there's no leverage at that point, right? Like, they don't have any leverage. If they're also scared that you're going to walk away. So that's the other thing too. Sometimes they're playing hardball, but we don't realize that they're scared that you're going to walk away. Because if you walk away, they got nothing, right? Sellers
yes,
don't want to sell the house. Otherwise, they wouldn't be countering you in the first place, right? So
yes,
I think sometimes whoever is more confident wins in those situations, right?
yes,
Confidence
yes.
that you convey is key, because the
Hmm.
more confident you are to that agent, then they can come back to their buyer and say, hey guys, I tried, but they're not playing. Like, this is all they're going to go. But if you're kind of
Yes,
feel weak, if you're being weak, then the agent is going to let the seller know, oh, I think we can get some more out of them, right?
yeah,
So that's where
yeah,
standing your ground, even if you're willing to budge, but still standing your ground and just saying, I'm not budging, ultimately pushes it over, right?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
What do you got?
Sure. Here's what when you're negotiating back and forth, right? You have to remember that even if they say no or they reject the offer, it's not a dead deal,
yeah,
right? So let's just say, for example, so that should encourage you to push, right? Let me explain. If you push and they say no, you still have one more option. That option is
yeah,
to go back to your buyer and say, hey, this is where we're at, guys. This is it. This is it. This is where we're at. Now the ball's back in your court. Now you got to make the decision in regards to how you want to play it. So when you look at it that way, brother, it's a lot easier to push. It's really a lot easier to push.
Yeah.
Right. Because the decision now is not, I failed negotiations. No. This is part of negotiations. Now I'm bringing the ball back to you. And now you're making the decision if we're going to end up walking away from this or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, push, brother. Push on some of these negotiations, because there's no losing it. Even if they say no, even if they decline it, I've had them write back and say no, and we're able to resubmit the offer all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's not really a dead deal. You know what I mean? It's just now it should give you a little more confidence to push.
Especially when there's no other offers on the table.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
What are they going to do? Right? They need something, right, to keep the ball rolling.
They need something.
Yeah. Think about it from the listing agent's perspective. They've done all this work, marketing, listing it, all this stuff. It's been on the market for 2 months. They've been hosting open houses, all this crap. The agent wants to make the deal happen too, right?
Yes.
And so I think we got to remember that, right? Like the stronger we are and the more confident we are, it's going to get us further. One of the things I told Shri during that is always paint the picture of 2 steps ahead, right? So I've learned this, and in the recent years, and I've used this a lot when I've done deals, is I always tell them what's going to happen next after this move that we do. So it's like chess, right? Hey guys, just want to let you know, if we counter here, what they're most likely going to do is they're going to counter here. And then if we want to win this, we're going to have to come up to here.
Or to the buyers, or to your clients.
Either way, seller or buyer, right? I always want to paint the picture of 2 moves ahead, because what it does is it takes them away from just being so tied to that one move. And it already starts getting them to kind of play the game, right? And that's a tactic, right? And so that's why I told Shri, like, hey, I know you're at 145, they're at 155. Now they countered you to 1.5. What's their max? He's like 1.475. I'm like, so I wouldn't counter 1.475. I would maybe counter like 1.465 or 1.47, so that they still have one more bullet left in the tank. Because if you do that, the seller may come down here, right? And then you just accept their offer. Right. Let the seller think that they won, but really you were like 2 steps ahead of them. Right. So there is also an ego play in negotiations where the other party wants to feel like they won, like they're the one who called the shot. Right. And so it's okay to play the ego game, like let them feel like the winner, right? But just educate your buyer, like, hey, it's all right if we would let them feel like they won, but this was our client all along, right? It has like a psychological effect on the negotiations. I don't know why, but people always want to feel like they know what's going to happen, and they know like they're playing this game, right? Really works, man.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into another scenario right here. So scenario is representing the seller in a multiple counter and driving the price up. So here's the situation. You have 2 to 3 solid offers. One is the highest, right? But the terms aren't as good. You have another offer that has stronger terms, but it's not the highest price, right? You want to get the highest price and the best terms, right? So the suggestion here is, the talking points, right, is use the soft shop strategy, right? So what you're telling the agent is like, hey guys, we got multiple offers. We're evaluating the different offers, but we wanted to give your buyer a chance to improve. We're representing the seller, right? And now we're going back to the buyer agent. And so the strategy is like, you don't be like so hard, like you don't push so hard. You just say, hey guys, we're looking at multiple offers. We just wanted to give everybody a chance to improve their offer, right? And then you want to ask them, is your buyer maxed out, or are they open to some improvement? So what you're doing is you're kind of testing the waters to see if they are willing to come up without like drilling them so hard and making them feel like you're just trying to hard close them.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay.
So let's read this and then I want give me some feedback. Okay. So leverage the strong terms to influence the pricing, right? Hey, we have a clean offer right now, but it's slightly lower than yours. Can your buyer improve their price to stay in play, right? And you want to frame the seller's perspective. We're looking for a combination of highest net, strongest close. And then you want to keep the dialogue open. Don't just counter one, but open the door for everybody to improve. So this is where you're going back to everybody and just kind of painting the picture and then seeing who's willing to kind of play ball, right? Okay. So maybe Rob, like I know you've done this, so maybe you can give me some
I would
feedback.
say that me and Kike are probably the king of this. And I would say that I learned it from Kike, by the way, when we were doing listings, okay? So the question is, when do you do it? The question is, when do you do it? Okay. So when we get all the offers are in, right? When we get all the offers in, before I call my client and let them know that we got 4, 3, 2 offers in hand, I've already called all of the agents in the background, right? And I'm already playing this, what'd you call it?
Soft shop.
Okay, soft shop.
Or like
right?
shopping them around, basically.
Okay. So, okay. I get it now. Okay. So, well, that's a nice word. We'll call it a soft shop. So what I'm already doing is I'm calling them in the background, playing the soft shop game, and said, hey, listen, guys, this is the conversation that I have with the agents. Hey, listen, guys, I just want to let you guys know that we currently have about 3 offers in hand. I go, and listen, you're not the top guy. I go, but you have a chance, you have an opportunity to bring yours up. And I just wanted to give you a courtesy call before I let my sellers know of the situation. Is this something that you're willing to play? Is this something that your clients are able to, maybe entertain or kind of explore a little bit more, right? We'll figure out the wording a little bit better, right? And then at that point, they either give me a yes or a no. Now, here's the thing, is that if you know how agents work, right? Remember, the majority of agents are not as skilled as you guys. Trust me on this, right? So when you bring something up like that, their first reaction is, yes, I can make it happen, Robert. Just give me a shot. Just give me a shot.
Everyone wants to be in the counter, right?
Yeah.
They all want a chance to come to the plate, right?
Right. So by that time, I'm able to get that information. Now, here's the way that we play it with our clients, right? When we play it with
Go back to the seller.
When we go back to the sellers, I don't tell them what I just did. I don't say any of that. So what I say is I give suggestions. So I say, hey, listen, Mr. Customer, I've got a feeling that I might be able to push this one up. Hey, Mr. Customer, I think I can push this one up about another 50K, right? So then I go, do you trust me, right? Do you trust me? Do you allow me to make that happen for you guys? Yes, I'll let you do that. But I already know that I can push these numbers up in the background because I've already had that conversation with these agents before the offer came in. So that whenever I'm able to raise these prices up, right, I now look like the hero. Oh my God, Rob, how'd you squeeze out an extra more couple of dollars? The reason being is because we were able to do soft shop.
Shopping the offer around.
Yeah, soft shop.
That's what we're calling. But so to add to that, what I've always done is whenever I have offers, I always say I have more offers, right? So like I did it the Santa Cruz one recently. I had 5 offers, but when I called everyone to soft shop, I told them I had 8 offers, right? Because a lot of people were confused on our pricing strategy. Oh, we dropped the price 500,000, right? Because we dropped it to 999 just because to get the phone ringing. And there were people who are already like, oh, you probably got a lot of offers. I'm like, yeah, we got like 8 offers, and I think I have a couple more coming in. Really, I only had like 4, and then one other one was coming in.
Still good,
right? Still good. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to paint the picture to everybody that, hey guys, this thing is going to go up. My highest offer was 1.3.
What would you want?
We needed to be like at 1.5, 1.6.
Oh, shit.
And my highest offer was 1.3, and then I had a 1.25, and then I had, because I priced it at 999 just to fish. And then I had like a 1.1, and I had like a 1 million, right? So it wasn't looking good, right? To go from 1.3 to 1.5. And so I'm telling all these agents like, hey guys, I got 8 offers, right? I only have 4, and then 1 came in after. I go, and I think this is probably going to hit the 1.5s. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits the 1.5s. We're getting close to that. And after counters, I think we're going to be somewhere around 1.5, even though I was way off. Right. And so that already started like putting that into their minds so that they can go back and talk to their buyers. And I said, hey, look I can counter offer you, I'm going to be doing some counters, but I just want to know, are we way far off? Or does your client want an opportunity to improve their offer?
Yeah.
I go, do you want to be a part of this counter, or do you want me to just count you out? Right.
Yeah.
And so some of them were like, hell yeah, send me the counter. Some of them were like, I don't know, let me talk to my seller or to my buyer. And then out of those 5, I think 2 of them dropped out automatically.
Right.
The gap's too small, right? Out of the other 3, they were like, yes, send me the counter. But I already knew in my mind, they probably weren't going to go up that high. Right. I happened to get another call.
Right.
After the counters are already going to play, I get another call last minute. Hey guys, we saw your property before. My client saw it again. They're all cash. They really want this property. They can close in 10 days. What's it going to take? And so I'm leveraging all the other offers I have. I'm like, hey dude, I got 8 offers. We're in counters right now. This is probably going to go somewhere around 1.5 or very close to that. So if you even want a shot, like don't submit your offer unless it's close to 1.5. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, let me talk to my client. I'll call you right back. 10 minutes later, I get a text message. Yeah, I could do 1.5 all cash. Close in 10 days.
Wow.
Right? So I'm like, I'm like, all right, let me see that offer come in. She sends the offer in. She comes in at 1.465. But it was still, my highest offer was 1.3.
Yeah.
So it was still,
yes.
because of that negotiation and leveraging all that, I already set the stage. She was still way higher than the other ones.
Right.
And so,
Damn, that is crazy. Imagine if you came in at 999. Well, that would make sense. Did she see the house before the price dropped?
yes,
That's what happened.
So
Okay.
so the other thing that helped us out in that situation, because the property was unique and it was hard to comp out, is we got an appraisal done.
That's perfect.
Strategically, right? Because I even told the client, like, I'm having trouble comping this. Let's just get an appraisal. Because I already know other agents are going to have a hard time comping this thing out. And so we got an appraisal, and the appraisal came in at like 1.675 or something like that. And
Wow.
that's where we originally listed the property, but I thought that was a little inflated.
But it's a non-biased. It's a
But
non-biased.
it set the stage
Yep.
so that I put that appraisal in the disclosures,
Yep.
right? And then everybody I was talking to when I was doing the soft shop, I was like, hey, you guys saw the appraisal, right?
Right.
The appraisal came in at 1.675. I go, so even at 1.5, this is a deal right here. You're coming in with equity. So I'm already like influencing their thoughts. They get to go back to their clients. They get to tell them about the appraisal. That cash buyer told them, hey, you saw the appraisal? No, I haven't seen it. Well, hey, it came in at this price. Take a look at it, right?
Yeah, it takes all the responsibility away from the agent, right?
Exactly.
It's faster at that point.
So ultimately, we came in at 1.465. Now, this is another step in the negotiation, right? That we also got to be aware of. I didn't want to just accept her offer without countering her.
Right.
Why do you think I didn't want to do that?
Your bluff game happens.
Because
Yes,
she
to show some strongness.
and she came in at 1.465. So if I would have just accepted their offer really quick, what signal would that have sent to the buyer?
You're like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Exactly. So it looks like he's just bluffing. He doesn't have any offers. They just accepted it. Like, we don't have much leverage.
Exactly, right? So
Now, did you send a multiple? You could probably send a multiple counter at that point.
So I did, right?
Okay.
So what I told my seller, I go, look, I don't want to just accept their offer that quick. I don't want them to think I have no other strong offer, because really we don't. And I don't want them to get, cold feet and be like, oh, maybe we're paying too much for this. I go, so
Yes.
what I suggest is we counter them a little bit, right? Just to get them feeling like a little bit of pressure, right?
Right.
To this point, they didn't feel pressure. It was just
Right.
one shot, right? So I ended up countering her back to lower her commission 0.5%, right? She was asking for 2.5. I countered her back to 2.5% to 2%, right? And then I countered her like 10 grand more in the price or whatever, right?
Right.
And so when I did that, I called her and I said, hey, look, I hate to do this. I go, but you're competing with other offers, even though I was like bluffing. She was way higher than the other ones, right? I go, and my seller like really needs to get close to 1.5. You guys are a little bit lower. You had said you were going to come at 1.5. I go, so she wants me to counter your commission, right? I go, I hate to do that. Or you can come up a little bit in the price.
Yeah.
Right. So ultimately she goes, don't touch my commission, blah, blah, blah. Let me see if my seller can come up that extra 0.5% of the commission, and then we can be square. So then I ended up getting them to come up like another, whatever 0.5% was. It was like another like 7 or 8 grand.
That's tight.
Right. So I kept her commission the same, had her come up 8 grand. Now they felt a little bit of the squeeze in the pinch. And then once we accepted their offer, then they felt like, oh, we got a deal. Like we won this battle. Right. So some takeaways there, right? Is
Making
when you're
them
a seller, your job is to start influencing where the offers are going from the initial conversations when people are asking about the property. Do you have any offers? When are offers due? That's when the negotiation starts.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hold on before you jump. Okay, so understand this concept, guys. Let's say that Kike's multiple counter offer that he threw out was rejected. Let's just say it was rejected. They said nope, right? What's that last card that you have in your pocket to pull out?
Last call, we still call them back.
Well, no. The last card is like, let's say everything all else fails, right? You still have that offer that original offer at 1,475.
Yeah.
Now you have that conversation with your sellers again and said, hey, listen, guys, what's been going on? This is the history that we've been in, right? So this seems to be the highest that we've got.
Yeah.
Right. So when I learned that concept right there, pushing no longer scares me anymore because I've already have that fallback to go back on. Right.
Mhm.
Now, when you present it to your seller, like, hey guys, this is the number I'm telling you. If we decide, I think we should push forward, but just understand the risk that we're jumping if we do decide to push forward.
Yeah.
Right. So then once they give you the okay to send out the multiple counters, they say no. This offer doesn't die. It doesn't die.
Still have
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Right. You still have that offer. Right. You said, oh, just kidding, guys. You know what? my clients had a realization. We'll go back to the 1,475.
Yeah.
So there has to be some original commitment on that offer before you send out the multiple counter that this may be the final number to your sellers, right?
Yeah.
So that they're already getting in their head, worst case scenario, this is it.
And so,
Yeah.
so to add to that, right? What I did with my seller, right? I'm telling you what I talked to the buyer agents, but with my seller, I did the same thing in reverse, right? Is that when I presented all the offers to her, I said, look, we're way far off from what you want. Because she needed to be like close to 1.5
Right.
to make the deal work. I'm like, we're way far off. I go, chances are I'm not going to be able to get them to 1.5. I'm going to try my best. I go, but when I counter them to 1.5, more than likely someone will drop out. I was already painting like the 2 steps
Yes.
ahead.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I go, so we'll try, we'll be aggressive. We have multiple offers, so it's good. We have some leverage to use that in our favor. But I just want to set the expectation that if I counter at 1.5, someone may not come up from 1.3 to 1.5.
Right.
They may end up at like 1.45, right? Maybe they meet us in the middle. And so what I did was, even though she wanted 1.5 or more, I go, let me show you a net sheet at 1.4.
Right.
So I wanted to show her a net sheet before I countered the offers to what I thought worst case scenario was going to be.
Right.
I go, worst case scenario, this one comes up to 1.4, which I think I could do. But more than that, like, it's going to take a miracle,
There
right?
you go.
And so I go, here's the net sheet. And while I'm talking to her on the phone, I text her the net sheet. I go, pull it up. So while we're talking, I go, this is how much you walk away with. How much do you owe on the property? How much this? I go, can you live with that worst case scenario?
Right.
And she's like, then she's like, I don't know.
But that's reality at that
Yeah.
point. It's
That's
reality.
reality.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a what if. Now that point is reality. Now you got to make the decision.
Exactly. I go, well, look, I'm going to try to do this, but I want to show you, like, I think this is where we're going to end up. If I had the bet, it's going to be here. If I get you more, great. All right. I go, so I need you to start getting comfortable with what your net is going to be somewhere close to here.
Right.
Is it worth it to get this property sold because it's an investment? I go and take your money and go, because she wanted to put it into some other investments, right? So now I go back to the motivation, why we're selling this property in the first place. She goes, well, I can always rent it out again. I go, well, do you want to deal with tenants? I go, you just fixed up the property. You just put money into it.
Yeah.
You already saw you had to get the tenants out in order for us to sell it. I go,
The market going to be good in a
I
year?
go, is the market going to be better? I go, your property, this is not a cookie cutter property. This is a very unique property. So even by next year, I don't think this is going to be dramatically better.
Right.
I go, and you got to hold it. I go, what's your monthly payment on it? Right.
Right.
She's paying like a hard money loan or something. I go, so are you cash flowing if you rent it? She goes, no, probably like a little bit out of pocket.
Right.
I go, so you're gonna have to deal with tenants. You're not cash flowing. The market's not necessarily gonna get better. Or do you just cut your losses now, take your money, get most of your money back, and go move on? So I had to start working my seller and then working the buyers at the same time to get the buyers up and the seller down, right? And at the end of my conversation, she goes, you're good at what you do. She goes, I can see what you're doing. She goes, that's what she told me. She goes, you're setting the expectations with me.
Yeah.
She goes, and that's why I like you.
Yeah.
She goes, because you're not like just bullshitting.
Well,
Right?
if you do that, if your communication comes out really clear, Sri and Patrick, like if your communication comes out really clear, the fear as an agent goes away. right?
Yeah.
Because now what's happening is that they're giving you permission to take the leap, but they're aware of the risks that are happening by giving you permission to take that leap.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so if you have these types of conversations up front, everything else is normal. Even if negotiations don't go the right way, they're aware that that's
Yes.
an option, right? They're aware that that's the route that can go. But you should be clear in your head and say, okay, you know what? We tried. It didn't work out, but they're good with it. The part where it sucks is if you're promising the moon and the stars and then you don't deliver, that's when things start to go sideways.
Yeah, I under promise.
Yeah.
I always under promise. Worst case scenario.
Promise.
I always want to show them worst case scenario and show them a net sheet. That's the other thing too, which I think is part of this, right? Is you're talking numbers of price, but you always got to show them what they walk away with, which is important. Anytime you're doing negotiations and you're representing the seller, a net sheet should accompany that dialogue there, right?
I'll add that.
Because then it goes from
Yeah.
sales price and then it goes to real what's going to hit my bank account. So you start getting them focused on what's going to hit their bank account. They start forgetting about the final price. They just start seeing where this number needs to be, right?
Yes.
And so that's a very important step. Because remember, the sales price is an inflated number, right? Because you got to back out commissions, you got to back out closing costs, you got to back out repair costs, holding costs, all that. And so I want to show them a true number.
Right.
And just get them focused on that. Hey, if you were to walk away with 500,000 after all said and done, is that enough to have you make the next move?
That's exactly the
Right.
line that I use.
Right? Well, no, I got to be at like at least 515 or 520. Okay, so in order to be at 515 or 520, that means we got a counter offer right here, roughly, right? And then when you get them to start working with you on net, it's like they're part of the process with you.
Yeah.
And then and it makes the negotiations a lot easier. And then I tell them, hey, look, if you decide to rent it after this, that's up to you, right? Like I can't make that decision for you. Then I tell them like, hey, I don't care if this goes through. I just want to help you try to get the most right now. And then you got to decide, does this make sense for me? Right? That's your decision.
Yeah. The majority of people that I've sat down with on the listing side of things, guys, are remember how we always talk about first-time home buyers? Well, we really never really talk about first-time home sellers. Right?
Sellers, yeah.
And the majority of people that I sit down with are first-time home sellers. So they have no idea how the process works. They have no idea how the numbers work, right? So when you go in there and you turn everything from telling somebody to turning it into more of a black and white thing where you're walking them through the process, right? It becomes more clear in the direction that they need to take, right? Yeah. But I think what happens is with a lot of agents is that we're more used to telling people what it is. Hey, listen, that was a great point is, yeah, I know they countered us to an extra 50K on our counter, but let me go ahead and show you exactly what your what your mortgage payments are going to be, which is the most important part of this. And then when you look at it, when the mortgage payment only jumped up like $25 or $30, it becomes an easy to sell. It becomes black and white.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people, a lot of sellers or a lot of buyers and sellers don't know that. They don't know the numbers. I think it's more ego driven.
Yeah.
When it comes to purchase price and when it comes to list sales price.
Well, what you're describing there is the emotion gets involved, right? It becomes an emotional thing where it's like I want to feel like I'm winning and not a logical thing. So when you show them net and you show them dollars, black and white, or when you show them monthly payment, that takes their mind out of thinking emotionally and it gets them thinking logically, right? And now they can make a logical decision. Can I afford $80 more?
That's right.
Does 500,000 allow me to make the next move? Is that enough for my down payment if I'm buying another house? Or is that enough for me to retire or whatever I'm trying to do?
That's right.
The whole reason I'm selling, right? So we got to get people out of emotion and get them to logic. And the way you do that is with numbers and like using stuff that's black and white.
Yeah, breaking it down to its simplest form and then just taking small little steps forward. That's all it is.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, this is good shit, man. Okay, questions. I know we're spitting out a lot of stuff. Patrick or Shri, do you guys have any questions on scenarios or comments or anything you've seen when you're dealing with either buyers or sellers?
No. Most of the buyers, I think it's a common question you hear from them. I think we're gonna just take a pause and like let's start from next year because right now it's holidays and Christmas. I think it's not a good time, we feel, is what they ask. But again, that's what I keep telling them these days. Like, it's a good opportunity for you to participate unless you're not going on holidays anywhere, leaving the California. Because of other people are doing that, we should actually, yeah, start participating in this market instead of waiting for the competition for next year. And apart from that, can we say anything else as well, is my question.
Yeah. So let me walk you through a framework that one of our sales coaches taught us. Dale, remember that guy, Dale? He taught us something called follow their logic, right? So I want you guys to remember this is very, very important. Follow their logic, right? So when someone tells you like, hey, whatever they tell you, hey, in this scenario, I'm gonna pause because of the holidays and I don't feel like it's a good time. I want you to always repeat that back to them and pretend you're trying to understand what they mean by that, right?
Okay.
So like Shri, tell me you're gonna pause because of the holidays. Pretend you're the client. We'll do a role play.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to shop right now because of the holidays and all, and Christmas and all. I think there's not inventory also on the market. So let's resume next year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, totally understand. So here I'm gonna follow your logic. So what I'm hearing you saying, just so I understand what you mean is you want to pause because it's the holidays, right? And maybe you think there's not a lot of inventory right now, and maybe you think next year there might be more opportunities and stuff. Is that correct? Is that really what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I just want to make sure I understand, right? So I don't make any recommendations that don't make sense for you. So see what I'm doing, pause. What I'm doing is I'm letting you know that I follow you, right? Instead of me
Yeah.
saying, well, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that, right? And then
Okay.
what I'm going to do is what I'm doing is I'm setting them up, right? I'm creating a trap for them. So I'm setting them up so now I can ask a question, right?
But it better be a damn good question.
Yeah.
It better be a damn good question.
So I'm going to say, Shri, I totally understand. What you just said was you want to wait because it's the holidays. You don't think there's a lot of inventory right now, and you think maybe you're just going to wait till next year. Okay, totally understand. I follow you. I get you. Now let me ask you a question, right? I just want to understand what's more important to you, right? Is it more important to you for you to buy during the right time, like of the year, like you're busy right now, it's holidays, and maybe after the holidays you'll have more time? Is that more important to you? Or is it more important to you to get a better deal where you can maybe negotiate better prices and better terms so that ultimately your investment pays off in the long run? Which one do you think is more important for you? Is it more just waiting, just to wait because you don't want to be bothered during the holidays? Or if there was a really good opportunity, would that be more important to you to jump on that opportunity?
I want to get a best deal, obviously.
Okay, best deal, right? So regardless of what time of the year, whether it's February, January, April, August, if you could get the best deal, that's what's more important to you, right? Okay, so now let me tell you why right over the next month and a half is probably the time where you can get one of the best deals in the whole entire year, right? So we'll stop right there. So what I did is I just set you up to come into my trap. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some data, right? I'll either show you data, or I'll show you like list price to sales price ratio, or I'll show you like traditionally what happens, or I'll explain to you what happens during this time, or I'll let you know that, hey, right now, even though there's not as much inventory, there's also not as many buyers in the market because they're all thinking like you. They're thinking there's not a lot of inventory, so might as well wait till next year. So do you think there's going to be more competition now or less competition now? Shri?
It's less competition now.
Less competition. Okay. So there's less competition. And then come springtime, when you initially wanted to wait, do you think there's going to be more buyers coming out, which means more competition, or less competition during that time?
Obviously, more competition.
More competition. Okay. And if there's a house for sale and there's more competition on that house, what do you think happens to the price? Does it go up or does it go down?
Yeah, it'll go up.
Price probably goes up when there's more competition. So you just told me that what was important to you wasn't necessarily waiting to a certain time of the year. It was more when to get the best deal. So wouldn't it be better to get the best deal when there's less competition, where you can negotiate better terms, right? And better,
yes.
Right? So my advice to you as your realtor, of course, you could do whatever you'd like to do, but my advice to you, if you were my brother or my sister, and I always use that line, if you were my family member, because what that does is that tells, like, I'm telling you some secret stuff that I would tell my family, right?
Yeah.
So if you were my aunt if they're older, I say aunt or uncle. And if they're younger, I say, if you were my brother or my cousin or my sister, I would be telling you to negotiate a freaking heck of a deal right now when all the other buyers are Christmas shopping. We go in there and we negotiate the best price and best terms, right? Shri, don't you want the secrets that I give my brother and my cousin?
I want.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
all right, stand right there.
This is the part where this is the masterclass. This is it. That's it. That's where you can tell the difference between a great sales agent and
Yes.
an okay sales agent. Let me explain. The majority of agents tell people what to do. The
Yeah.
best salesperson puts you in a position where you're forced to answer the question,
Yeah.
right? The best salesperson asks great questions. They don't ask good questions. They don't ask just mediocre questions. They're asking extremely great questions in order to draw interaction back to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a difference between saying now is the best time. I think you should do this now, or going to long form and say, well, let me ask you this. You know, what's going to change in the future? Like using these great questions that's going to end up opening them up so that you can go ahead and find ways to capitalize on what they're saying, right? But there is like right now, when I go have conversations with people, that's all I do is I set traps, right?
Yeah.
So I ask great questions to figure out how they're going to answer. And then from there, I use their own words to throw it back at them. If that makes sense.
Because also the other thing too is when you help someone come up with their own conclusion, then they don't feel like they're being sold,
That's
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's one thing for me to tell you, and then you feel like I'm just trying to sell you.
Right.
But when I ask you good questions and then I help walk you through it and then you realize it for yourself,
Yes.
that's the most powerful way to get someone to move forward, right? When
Move
they
forward.
realize the answer.
They
right?
sold themselves.
They sold themselves.
They sold
All I
themselves.
did was I asked the questions to lead them down,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so we got 3 minutes. We're gonna end with this. I want to do a role play. Now I'm gonna throw that scenario and I want you to use what I just told you. Just to practice, right? So
Yes.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow my logic by repeating it back to me, you know, making sure you understand. And
Yeah.
then you're gonna ask me questions. What's more important? Is it this or is it this? Right?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
think this is it's gonna be better here? Do you think it's gonna be better there? So you're helping me find the answer, right? So
Yeah.
let's role play that and then we'll wrap up because we got like a couple minutes. So
Sure.
Shri, I think we're just gonna wait. You know, it's the holidays right now, and it seems like there's not a lot of inventory. And I think it'll be better next year after the new year.
Oh, okay, Enrique. Okay, let me. I got it completely. I understand what you're saying. Uh, I just want to reiterate again that you want to just wait all the holidays and the Christmas time, and due to less inventory and all these things. Is that correct?
Yeah. I just think waiting would probably be better for us.
Okay, okay. No, I completely understand, Enrique. It's like a Christmassy time. You want to spend time with your family. I completely understand. Let me ask you this. Uh, you know, you saying that you want to come into the market next year, uh, in the springtime. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think just in the springtime, it might be a better chance to buy. There might be, more properties and stuff like that. Might just be a better time.
Okay, okay. So in this process, like, for suppose, like, if I would tell you that, we got the better opportunity right now, or, you want to still wait till the next year, uh, to pay more, what would your put would be? You want to
Okay,
pay?
so let me help you out there. Pause.
Yeah.
Ask me what's more important. Is it
Okay,
more
yeah.
important for me to buy in the spring just because it's March or April, or is it more important for me to get the better deal?
Yeah,
Help me understand what's more important to you, Enrique, right? Okay, resume.
yeah. What's more important for you, Enrique? Is it important for you to buy in the March, or is it important for you to get a good deal right now?
Well, yeah, we want the best deal possible. Yeah, so yeah,
So,
definitely. Like it doesn't matter what time of the year. I want to get the best deal.
okay, that's great. So if when you want to shop in the March, you think there are a lot of buyers out like you at that time, or there are very lot of buyers right now in the market.
Yeah, there'll probably be more buyers in the springtime.
So right now you're saying that there are very few people in the market. Then when do you think we would get the better deal?
Uh, Yeah, I guess when there's less people.
Good.
So as you're saying, like if you want the best deal, as you said, this is a good time. It's completely up to you. When do you want to shop? But I'm just telling you how the market is like, you know.
Okay, and then so pause. Tell me how what you would tell your brother or your sister. This is the
Yeah,
advice, right?
exactly. So, hey, as a brother, like I'm just telling you, like, you know, my family member, if you're really looking for a best deal, there is really good opportunity out there. It's completely up to you if you want to wait till March, but I'm just telling you as my brother, and don't tell me later, you didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you think I can get a better deal right now?
Yeah, because as you said, everyone is out and shopping for the Christmas. We got a good opportunity right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Can you show us some homes this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
go.
you got the framework down, right? The
Yeah.
only thing that we may have to clean up is how the wording comes out, right?
Yeah,
That's the
practice.
only part. And there is framework, right? I mean, I think Kiki, you taught Ryu, right?
Yeah.
Ryu was one of them that I think should be in the training, right? But mine would be like, hey, listen, I completely understand, Shri. If I was in your position, I'd be thinking the same exact way. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question, right? I go, well, listen, I understand that you're trying to wait till next year. What exactly about next year is getting you all warm and fuzzy inside in regards to taking the next step now, right? So they tell me, and I just keep playing with it. And then there's always a quick framework that you can do. Hey, listen, Mr. Customer, why don't we do this? Why don't we agree to nothing at the moment, right? Why don't we just make a quick if you'd allow me just to make a quick recommendation? I don't know if this would be completely crazy of me to ask, but if I were to find you a great deal at the moment, right, and it happened to be, I don't know, this week or next week, is that something that you folks would willing to entertain at the moment or not? Right? If they say no, then we go back. It's all this is just framework.
It's framework.
That's
He's
all
doing
this
the same
is.
framework. It's just
Same
his
exact
words
thing.
are a little different.
Same, but and you're gonna have your own words when you sell your own thing, right? But it's once you understand the framework, it becomes fucking easy.
Yeah.
It becomes
Yeah.
there's no more oh, I got stumped on a rebuttal.
Yeah. So you got to understand what they're saying,
Yeah.
right? That's an important step is you repeat it or you understand it, you follow their
Confirm them.
logic, confirm it, right? However, whatever you want to call it, follow their logic, repeat and approve. You're basically saying, hey, what you just said, let me just say it back to you so I make sure we're on the same page.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens is the client feels like you're listening, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
you start asking a question. Hey, let me ask you a question, right? Is this more important to you or is that more important to you? Or what do you think is going to happen by this versus doing this, right?
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to understand their logic. So you're following them down like the trail of like, this is what their brain is thinking and this is what they think is going to happen, right? And then you open it up with questions at that point, right? And
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the framework.
It is.
right?
The hardest part of this whole framework is once you understand the framework, the hardest part is that you listening. Because you have to listen. Because in order for the framework, the future framework to work, you have to take their words now so that you can go ahead and scramble them in the future. So listen, Ms. Customer, what you're telling me right now is that you want to hold off until next year because this, and this. Is that right? So if you're not listening in the whole conversation, this whole framework will work.
Yeah.
So the biggest is that you have to listen. You have to understand the framework, how it works, and you have to listen so that you can jumble up the words and then throw it back at them. Does that make sense? That's what happens.
No, that's really good, Enrique. Thank you for that. Actually, that's what even I was like thinking today, how to change this. Like when people say about this holiday sensing, I don't want to keep saying that, no, it's a good opportunity. You know, I should find a way to, you know, to go through this like in a different perspective, right? But this is gonna really help for my calls this weekend.
And so the good thing is you can use this framework on any rebuttal, any objection, any rebuttal that you run into is you always just want to understand why they're saying that, what they said, repeat it back to them.
Yeah.
Make sure you're on the same page first. Okay, I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. And then from there, you start asking the series of questions and presenting different options, right? And
Yes.
saying, hey,
Yes.
here's my advice, or can I make a recommendation, or can I give you some advice, right? Or here's
Yeah.
what I would tell my friend or family member if they were thinking the same way, right?
Okay.
All the same stuff. It's
All it is. All
just
it is.
different ways to say it, right? And
Yes.
that's what makes you a really good salesperson. And it also requires you to slow down and listen, and try not to get so excited, right? Because sometimes when we're talking, like we're just saying all this stuff, And that's something that we all can benefit from, just kind of slowing down and just really understanding each other, right?
Yeah.
It helps the relationship go further. All right, guys. I know we went through a lot. Hopefully you guys got some nuggets out of this.
Lots.
This is recorded though, so I'm gonna send it out if you guys want to watch it again. But we'll see you guys. Well, next Thursday's a holiday, so we'll resume the following week. But let me know if you guys need anything. All right.
Sure. Thank you.
Later, guys.
Yeah.